We're live. You get to do the intro.
We're live with the Supplement Engineer Podcast with Robert and Sandy. Robert is the supplement engineer, and I'm the wife, Sandy. I'm trying to make sure I covered all my bases. Is that what you say? Is that what you say? I don't know what you say because I don't listen. I don't listen unless I have to, and I don't have to when you're just saying what you always say. I'm just like,
auto-tune that.
I'm just making sure my hair's fine. Like while the whole time you're talking. Just making sure it looks good. It's like, does it look good? Okay.
We haven't even started drinking today yet either.
And we need to. Because I got some rants to go through.
Let me do my spiel.
Do your spiel correctly, because apparently I didn't do it right.
Take notes? Well, here. Here's a pen. Take notes. Okay. Welcome to the Supplement Engineer channel, everyone. My name is Robert Chinesky. Joining me, as always, is my vivacious vixen, my fabulous wife.
I remember the V's. But I didn't want to count myself as like the vivacious me. Like I thought that.
I mean, you have other people walking around the industry saying they're the world's greatest formulator or game changers. I mean, why not lean into your ego?
Then that just goes into my next rant. Their parents suck.
Anyway, if you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family, friends, and loved ones. And thank you, as always, for tuning in. So if you guys have any questions, we will be sure to answer anything and everything over the next course of the hour that we are here with you guys. Dicking around and making jokes and drinking and doing whatever else we can. And I think that's it. Oh, if you like the Supplement Engineer Podcast and you listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, or any other podcast,
subscribe.
Leave us a 5-star review. That helps us climb up in the almighty algorithm that dictates anything and everything to which we are exposed these days.
I remember subscribe, but comment, subscribe.
Yeah, and look, right now, just go stop looking at these two gorgeous faces right here. Go down and then just leave a comment right down below. It costs nothing, but it really helps us. In some way, yeah. And the more interaction that's on the thing helps. So the more likes, comments, if you share the video, if you
I don't even want to talk about
anything, it helps. It helps things climb up in the rankings, and yeah. So what's going on?
Thank you, Brooke.
Yes, yes. And we're starting early today.
We're starting drinking early. I was like, I think the time is.
We're starting drinking.
Okay.
Today.
So can I start my rant, please?
Please.
Because my rant for the day is. I just want to say for the record, people are always afraid to say, I don't know why I have to say people are always afraid to say this, and I don't know why they're afraid to say it. If a child is a little stinker, they're always afraid to say it's the parents' fault. Why are we afraid to say that? If you go to a restaurant and the food sucks, are we afraid to say that the chef did a bad job? Are we afraid? Are we afraid to hurt the chef's feelings who just prepared this nasty food for us and we're eating? We're like, this is gross. Well, then I'd like to say, I think parents do bad jobs, and that creates bad human beings. I think there's good human beings in the world, and I think good human beings can be the product of good parenting or bad parenting, actually. I think good people can come out from whatever. But I think bad little kids that get away with things and are slimy and manipulative and dishonest and dishonorable, I think there was a lack of parenting there. I just want to throw that out there. And it's frustrating to me that it's like taboo. It's like taboo to say that. Like if I see somebody's garden and it sucks, I can't be like, that person is not taking care of their yard. Don't say that. I'm like, why can't I say that? They're obviously not taking care of their yard. You can say that about us. We don't take care of our yard. It's a fact. It's not an opinion thing. It's a fact. If your kid is a slimy little stinker and he pulls the wool over your eyes, it's because you allow him to. And he would be a much better person if he did a better job. He could be the next Teddy Roosevelt. He could be the next Martin Luther King Jr. if you just trained him and helped him be the best he can be. But instead, you let him suck. He goes off into the world and sucks. And that's on you, mommy and daddy. That's on you. And I mean that sincerely. You need to be teaching honor. You know what you need to do? Have conversations about honor and honesty and about integrity always. You need to read them inspiring stories. You need to show them the Mighty Ducks. Okay? I'm like, we're not gonna be like those hawks all about winning. We're gonna be about attitude, good attitude. Give it 100%. Like, what's up with what are you doing as a parent? What are you doing if you're not always talking about integrity and making good choices and having honor? I don't get it. What are you doing with your kid if you're not like teaching them how to be a better person? And Christopher Jackson and I, who is my friend in a federal prison, he's been there for 15 years. I don't want to talk about it. He should have been out by now. It's the thing. But anyways, he and I both agree that character is important, but then he and I are questioning, can character be taught? He wants to come back to his hometown in Georgia, and he wants to like help his community because he knows he made bad decisions that got him in prison. And so he wants to see if he can help the people in his community from the same fate. And he's asking Is it possible to teach character? And I keep thinking, I think it's possible to teach character because I truly believe there's goodness inside of us, there's badness inside of us. If you don't do anything about it, the badness is going to win. Like a car, if you just let go of the car, you think it's going to do a good job driving? You're like, oh, it's the car. No, you got to drive it. Okay, so you got to like steer the boundaries, right? It's like people are afraid of that or something. Thank you. Because I had an email. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it today.
All I got from that is that you just think it's men that need discipline, and you didn't mention a girl once. All you said was he. So
Because I'm specifically thinking of a student in my mind.
All I got from that is that you're sexist.
Because there's a person in my mind.
You're a raging feminist, man-hating.
I think there can be girls that are terrible too. But I think here's the problem. I don't think that anyone is born wretched. I think even Dexter, in the TV show Dexter, was trained to harness his bad energy in like a way that's kind of good for humanity. So I'm just saying, I truly believe there's goodness and badness inside all of us. We're all capable of terrible things and we're all capable of amazing things. The most amazing thing that a human has ever done is capable by all of us. So we need to push ourselves to be that way. Why are parents dropping the ball?
The most amazing thing a human has ever done is this right here.
Massive iron creatine.
Shameless plug.
Buy one now. All right, fine. We'll get off the subject.
No, you can keep rolling. Chris, thank you, man, for welcome to the channel. We'll answer the supplement question.
We'll answer some supplement questions, but I want you to know that we need to instill character in these people.
We could get back to Sandy's opening monologue.
Just throw it out there.
My mom and dad did not let us get away with anything. They didn't let our friends that came over to the house, even if their kids' parents were there, they would discipline those kids, regardless if the other parents were.
Because if they act in bad, you got to do what you got to do.
Nothing got past Mama and Papa Shinetsky.
Your parents did a kick-ass job.
Yes, they did.
And I owe it all to them. I mean,
you're welcome.
Y'all are naturally intelligent enough to meet the expectations of your parents. But I think if one of you had a low IQ, I still think you would have been a good human being. Like, I have a kid right now.
The jury's still out.
I'm not going to tell you who it is. No, I have a kid right now. Great parents. I've taught all three of the kids. He's the youngest. And he actually has a 4th grade reading level. And he is a sophomore in high school. And he has straight A's in my class because he works his tail off. And I'm going to cry. I don't want to talk about it. He's such a hard worker. He's so respectful. I don't want to talk about it. So what I'm saying is I think parenting has so much to do with it. I think there's natural genetics in there for like things like natural ability, intelligence, or natural innate physical ability. I think it's parenting, man. Parents who suck. You suck, parents.
Our spicy meatball today.
Because
what did you have for lunch?
And it's the senior quotes. Like a senior quote is supposed to be like your opportunity to share what drives you. What is it that has motivated you and guided you on this journey through high school, and now you're going off to college and you want to send that word of wisdom to those below you?
Hold on 1 second. We owe Devin something from last week. How many steps?
Yeah.
Sure.
We have to check our steps.
All right.
I'm at how many steps?
84.
I'm at 84 steps. He seems to think that I'm going to get a lot of steps during the podcast.
Well, you do a lot of flailing and contorting.
I do a lot of this. So happening. Okay, so the senior quote is supposed to be something like eternal, if you will, something bigger than yourself. And the senior quote, and I got to be honest, I'm so mad. This is one of my favorite girls in the whole wide world. I love her and adore her. And her senior quote is, if you clean a vacuum, are you a vacuum cleaner? That's your senior quote. My other senior beautiful girl who I love, hers was, did somebody say beauty? Because I'm here. What are you saying? What's happening to the world? Like,
you're
what are
quote
you
shaming
saying?
people now. I hope you feel that.
I'm going to shame your nasty, pathetic quote. Where was the person of greatness who did great things that has these words, these immortal words that drove you to strive to do? That means they ain't got nothing. They got spineless. We got spineless. You know what they are? They're like the waving inflatable army. They're just spineless people just weaving around the world, smacking into things without standing on anything.
Kind of like all the people still walking around in masks.
Worked.
Jimmy. Robert, sorry if the mere name of this makes you want to puke. Can you give me some general thoughts on Bang energy drink?
It doesn't make you want to puke. You like Bang.
No. I mean, I've enjoyed the flavors of it. Yeah, I think I like some of their older flavors. I haven't tried any of the new ones as of late. I think they...
I have a question about that in a second.
Okay, as far as a delicious tasting source of caffeine, Sure, I'm all about it. Do I think you're getting any benefit from the leucine bonded creatine, the super creatine that they have in there, or the pixie dusted essential amino acids? No. There's no ergogenic benefit from them whatsoever. It is really good tasting caffeine. I like the sour lemon heads flavor. The Miami Cola I tried, it's gross. It was horrendous.
Is it just a seasonal flavor, like, or is it like
No, like they made it look like the Miami Hurricanes
is it
flavor
still-
and everything. Yeah, it's still around.
Okay.
It was not a good flavor. The birthday cake I heard was not good either.
Why would I
don't know
want to drink a birthday cake?
Yeah.
Bubbly beverage.
But some of the original flavors, like the Star Blast, was really good. The sour, whatever the sour, I don't remember the names of all of them. Sour Heads, Lemon Blast was good. So yeah, as far as 300 milligrams of really good tasting carbonated bubbly caffeine, sure, yeah, it's good. Are there any magical benefits to super creatine or any of the essential amino acids or any of the other pixie dusted little B vitamins and glucarone or lactone and all the other fun stuff that's in? No, that's not it. Yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing. You get Monster, Reign. It's just pick your flavor and whatever's best value on the market. If you're looking just a cheap source of caffeine, that's not a pre-workout or something. Yeah.
Okay, my question is: high school students drink Bang like crazy.
They should.
Should they?
No.
I know that it says
on the
there.
label 18 and under.
I know that it says on there, but they're 16. Can they drink Bangs? And is there a negative to the physiological of a child of 16 going on 17 drinking a Bang? That's my question, because they all drink them.
I mean, is it any worse than drinking an extra large super grande mocha frappuccino?
That's
from
what I'm
Starbucks?
asking. Is it worse than drinking your coffee?
It's probably healthier than drinking one of those like super venti mocha frappuccinos from
Okay,
Starbucks
okay.
because
It's
there's
less
not
sugar.
8,000 grams of sugar and fat in it like
Okay.
there are with that. Not that there's anything bad with that, but if we're comparing a calorie-free source of caffeine to a calorie-laden source of caffeine, and a lot of these kids aren't up and moving around, they're sitting in desks all day.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I teach high school, and I have to tell you, there's these two girls that I love, and I don't teach anymore, but I taught them for 2 years.
Is there one cup involved?
Sweet girls. I don't want to talk about it. I've never. I mean, I have seen it. So gross. And I pretend like I have, so that nobody tries to show me. Anyways, so gross. Oh my god. So, anyways, here's my problem. I am not an advocate of high school girls dieting, trying to get thin, worrying about their body image. However, I'm also not in favor of a beautiful, healthy teenage girl out of nowhere getting a huge ace, like a huge butt, huge thigh, like that's not proportional to her. Like
Excessive weight gain you're talking
she has
about.
excessive weight gain in like a certain part of her body, which I guess is just the way her body carries the weight. But so it's like, okay, what do you do when you're worried about these beautiful young girls and you know they're not healthy, something's not right, and yet you don't want to give them a complex, but at the same time, it's like, baby girl, what are you doing? Why are you, like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. What do you do? Do you just not say anything? I mean, I'm not going to say anything. Should throw that out there. But I'm just saying, I'm sad for these little girls because they're beautiful, but I can tell there must be something going on because they shouldn't have that much excessive weight gain from 1 year to literally within 1 year. There is a weight gain, and I don't know why, and I don't understand it. It's weird to me. What would you do if, like, you're a parent and then that happens? What's happening to your child? Is it sleep deprivation? They're getting stressed, or boyfriends, or school? Can that cause that kind of excessive weight? I'm talking about like a girl that
it's
should
a combination of
be
factors.
my
It's
size, and then
probably
she's not anymore.
excessive calorie intake coupled with excessive stress coupled with lack of physical activity. It's a combination of stuff.
Okay,
And
so
the
then
other-
what do you do what do you do at that point? Nothing?
You sit down with your child and you have a talk with them and try to get down to the root of the issue, like what's going on.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
work from there.
I don't like the idea of high school girls dieting, but then at the same time, it's like,
If they gain 40 pounds over a summer,
I mean,
that warrants an
There's something.
intervention. Yeah.
there's something going on.
I mean-
It's so weird though.
Being excessively overweight or obese is just as detrimental to your health as chronic stress is.
Okay.
So
So we're gonna say, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a tough one because I really don't like advocating that for girls. But at the same time, it's like, what are you doing
yeah.
wrong? Something's not right.
Yeah. Something's not right emotionally, psychologically, maybe on the home front.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a counselor. I just pretend to be one on YouTube.
Just saying. Okay. What's up, bud?
What are you drinking?
I am drinking, I guess it's Kentucky Mule. That's what they're called. It's a Kentucky Mule because it is ginger beer with lime and bourbon.
Bourbon.
What
Yes.
bourbon am I drinking?
You're drinking Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace?
90 proof, 45% ABV.
That's not very high.
Yeah, it's better than 80 proof.
Well, you always drink like 114 proof, so I must
I like-
assume.
I like 100 proofs typically.
Okay.
This is a 90 proof that I'm drinking right here.
Okay.
This is a Russell's Reserve 10-year bourbon.
Like a little alcohol.
It's got a very good age on it, but it's actually for being a 10-year-old bourbon, it's actually a relatively affordable one.
Mm.
So Blanton's is a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
It's a younger age,
good.
and it's good, but there's better bourbons on the market. Like
Okay.
a lot of Blanton's is in the appeal of the bottles and the little horses
It's
and everything.
prestige.
Yeah, and the name of it, and they've done a hell of a job marketing with it. There's better tasting stuff and definitely better deals because you can't even find Blanton's on the market now. It should be
I know.
retailing for like $60, and you can only find it on secondary for like $250 and up.
Yeah,
So-
not doing that.
But Blanton's is the same distiller that makes Buffalo Trace.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so imagine it's like the Camry and the Lexus kind of thing. So that's kind of where.
Okay.
But Blanton's is a single barrel. Buffalo Trace is not a single barrel product.
I think we need to take this podcast on the road. I think that we need to go to different areas like around America. We need to go to distilleries, try the alcohols, tell everybody how they are, and then try local pubs and such. There's a child that I'm writing a letter of recommendation for, and he wants to go to the University of Wisconsin in Madison,
Mhm.
and we love that restaurant, Dottie Dowry's Dumpling.
Dumpling Diner. Yes.
Whatever it is. Oh my God, it's so good. And so that's like a place that I would want, like a diner, drive-ins and dives.
So this is called the Supplement Engineer Channel, not the Bourbon and Diner
Well, then I
podcast.
guess we need to get a bourbon and diner
We'll just take
podcast.
the supplements with us on the road. See you again.
I
We'll get it again.
took overtime today. Got
Mhm.
me through the tough times.
How many caps did you take?
I only took 2 this morning. I didn't need any more.
I mean, it seems like you're still buzzing pretty good from it.
I think I'm excited. I think I just feel the alcohol.
You haven't even drank any yet.
I have become a lightweight. You know what's sad is I saw a picture of myself.
There's this much left in the cup.
I saw a picture of myself
And it
in
started
September, and I was so buff because I worked out all summer and whatnot. I'm flexing with my girls, and I had muscles, and now it's like, oh, I haven't worked out this whole semester, man.
I can tell.
I know, I can too.
It's the reason Marcy's coming over more than once a week
It's
now.
fine. We joke about that. We joke about it's fine.
Joke.
Because theoretically, you could totally be like getting away with an affair right now. You stay at home with the car. I'm out working all day. Sophia's at daycare. You could totally have an affair.
Are you saying I don't
Can I
work?
just be honest with you
Are you
though?
saying I don't work?
Why would you? I would just think you would just want to divorce me. Like, why would you want to carry on a relationship with 2 women?
It's way too complicated.
That sounds
I've
horrible.
already got 2 women in my life, and it's too many.
That's me and Sophie. I think that sounds horrible.
Exactly.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know how guys do it. We've been watching like the ID network.
Yeah, and a guy had 2 different marriages.
Like, you gonna have 2 wives?
No idea how you pull that off.
I don't know about all that. Kind of sounds like torture. Kind of sounds like torture. What I was talking about, alcohol.
No. Oh, you said overtime.
Overtime.
That's what. This is gonna be a shameless plug for Apollon, but Sandy did that. If you're looking to buy some more Apollon products, Robbie has been generous enough for the Final Scoop things. You can use the code Final Scoop.
Final
and
Scoop.
Save 15% for all Apollon
Hey,
products.
That's cool.
The link is down in the description, so that'll save everything for
All products like clothing,
clothing,
protein powders?
They're protein powders. My favorite. on
they're
the market.
really good. Their
the
chocolates are really
pre-workouts,
good. Their
which-
peanut butter cookie.
Overtime, Hooligan, which I use. That's become like my go-to. I don't use that
Overtime.
full scoop of that
I
all
use
the
it
time,
every-
but
As many mornings as I can, man. That stuff just you pop 2 pills, you're like, I can do this. I can do this. Let's do this.
so yeah, that's Final Scoop podcast in support. If you're looking to support the podcast and Apollon, because they make some really, really, really good stuff.
All right, sounds good to me. Okay, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
There's a restaurant called Louisiana Crawfish
Where?
next to Cabo Bob's. I went to pick up Cabo Bob's for my little girl, and I'm wearing my LSU gear because it's like wear your college T-shirt day, and then you can pose with students going to your college, and no one goes to LSU. And can I just tell you, they're snobby about LSU. They're like, I would never go to Louisiana. I'm like, oh, but you're gonna go to Arkansas, hog. Don't be so snobby, Ole Miss. Whatever you say to the Ole Miss people, go hotty toddy. It's just snobby. Then none of them go to LSU, but whatever. Anyways, I was going to pick up Couple Bob, and I see a Louisiana crawfish place. I didn't need to hit it up.
No, because the last Louisiana seafood place we went to was terrible.
It was. I am in Texas. I think we need to just focus. Maybe I should just stick with barbecue. I'm gonna stick with barbecue.
No, we're still mad at Robbie.
Why are we mad at Robbie?
Because Robbie bailed on the podcast last week to go down to Dallas to go do a Branch Warren instead of even very famous bodybuilder.
Oh, a very famous bodybuilder.
And one of the
Sorry.
Apollon athletes as well, one of their newly signed athletes.
I get so.
But here's the thing.
No,
Not only did Robbie miss the podcast, he was in Dallas, failed to come down to Austin.
Which is only 2 hours away. No.
3 hours away.
It's 3 hours.
So I guess he just doesn't like me anymore. I'm not going to help him anymore with anything.
We could have taken him to some awesome barbecue places. We wouldn't take him to seafood places. But we could have taken him to good barbecue places.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame. And some breweries and distilleries.
Well, I think I finally enticed Robbie to try bourbon. He's never had any alcohol in his life.
Wait.
But he said he wants to try some bourbon with me.
Time out.
He's Russian and he doesn't drink vodka. I know.
But he's never had any alcohol? There's got to be a reason. You don't just not.
He said he
drink.
just doesn't drink.
No. There's got to be a reason.
Maybe
You don't just. He's had opportunities and then purposely said no. What was the motivation behind saying no? What was that? What was that?
I don't know. Maybe you need to ask him.
I'd like to instill that in all my high school students. Just say no. Where's the DARE program? No, really, where's the DARE program? What happened to the DARE program? Who funded that thing? Why is there no DARE commission? Why is there no more fried eggs in a skillet saying this is your brain on drugs? That worked on me.
That commercial.
That worked. I was like, I don't want my brain to be fried like eggs on it in a pan. I guess I won't do that. I mean, like when you're little, when you're like 6 years old and you see a commercial where they say, this is your brain, and they crack the egg, this is your brain on drugs. I'm like, I guess I won't do drugs. I mean, it was that simple. And it hit me at a young age, and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want my eggs to fry. Where are those commercials?
They went away with the DARE program.
Where's the DARE program?
Just like everything great from the 90s, it's gone.
You know what I missed the 90s? We were talking about that. You know what we missed? That there was no political anything. It was all just a movie. Like it all just a TV show.
I went and rewatched
So good.
Under Siege, Steven Seagal, the first Steven Seagal.
Okay, because we were watching this comedian making
man.
fun of Steven Seagal.
Oh man, it's so good.
Okay, wait.
It's really good.
I've never seen a Steven Seagal movie all the way through, but I have seen a clip. And the only clip I remember is this the movie where he's taking a lie detector test?
No,
And they're
it's not
trying
that
to
one.
figure out if he's lying. You know, like they have to get a base.
Yeah.
And so they ask you true questions, and then they ask you false questions, and then they can gauge. And so one of the false questions was, have you ever climbed Mount Everest? And he said, yes. And it was like, and the guy was like, I don't know what to ask you now. And I'm trying to be like, what movie? That's the only scene I've ever seen of Steven Seagal is when he's taking a lie detector test, and he's doing that same thing he does in that TV show.
Yeah.
And he's like, have you ever climbed out? He's like, yes. And he just
Fun fact, he is
Had to climb
a
that.
licensed deputy in New Orleans.
So we watched this comedian. I don't remember his name, but he talked about
Segura.
the Steven Seagal in New Orleans. And so like when he said he's somewhere in Louisiana's a state. There's like lots of places that are not New Orleans.
64 parishes.
He's in Jefferson Parish. I lived in Jefferson Parish. That's New Orleans. That is the greater New Orleans area. He's in New Orleans. Like, oh my God, he's New Orleans deputy.
Yeah, fair. He was on the Wank. He was on the West Bank.
That
That's-
means there's some serious business on the wink, Robert.
There is.
That's not
That's
easy,
the
cheesy,
seedy-
lemon
That's the
squeezy.
seedy side. Like
It's kind of
you live on the East Bank, you're the
West
okay
Bank.
crowd. The West Bank's got a funk to it.
You kind of have like yeah, if somebody's
It's a
like,
wank.
oh, you're from New Orleans? Where are you from? They're like the West Bank. You're like, oh.
You take two
You're
steps
so
back.
snug and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go.
You went to Shaw?
You went to Blank? I'm sorry. Shaw is the boys' school. Blank is the girls'
Yeah.
school. Oh, get it ready, get it ready, get it ready. Only New Orleans people know that song. And it's awesome. Talk that stuff now, roll with it. If Phil's here, he'll know it. Talk that stuff now, roll with it.
So yes, we still are mad at Robbie. He's on double secret probation. But the final scoop code is to support Apollon, and Apollon is bigger than Robbie. We're supporting Carolina, Marina, Alina, all the great Inas
Of the
Apollon
Russian-
Nutrition. Yes,
Russian.
the Russian conglomerate that drives that. So no, Robbie's still in the corner in punishment, thinking about it and dwelling in shame.
Let's talk about the countries I would never want to visit. I don't even know if country is the right word. Let's just say area. Area. Russia.
I would go to Russia.
Not a damn chance. That mafia is scary.
I'm gonna have Robbie right next to me. He's
No.
an enforcer.
That mafia scares me to death. no to Russia, no to anything Middle East. Nah, I'm a woman. Yeah, no. And then, yeah, that's how that works. No bueno. Sorry. Yeah, no, wouldn't go anywhere in the Middle East. So like, and that includes Israel. A couple of years ago, our students go to Europe for like a junior trip, and a parent was kind enough. And this really was nice. The parent, sorry, it's kind of wealthy. You'll see why. A parent decided to buy plane tickets and trips, hotel stay, all the fixins for the entire senior class, which is like 80 people, and all their chaperones. He's like, you know what? I'll buy you guys a trip to Israel. I was like, I can't even imagine how much money that is. But let me tell you what I wouldn't want. It was like, but it's optional. You don't have to go to Israel after your trip to Europe. Every single kid and chaperone was like, I would love to go to Israel after my trip. I'm like, Israel? I was like, ah! You're gonna get bombed. Like, I'm not gonna be like stereotypical, but like, no, thank you. I don't want to go anywhere. And you know what? They all came back safe and sound. They got to see all the places Jesus walked and everything. It was just super cool. No, thank you. I'll go home. Peace. I don't do Middle East.
Would you do China?
No, I would not do China.
Would you do Japan?
I would do Japan. I know they're super sexist, but Japan.
Thailand?
Is that where Broken Down Palace was filmed? Because Broken Down Palace scared me. I don't want to go wherever Broken Down Palace was. It's a movie about two girls. They go to jail. I don't want to go out of the country.
To deserve going to jail?
I barely want to go to Canada. I don't even want to go out of the country anytime. I don't want to go out of the country. We're good.
I'd go to Russia.
It's so scary.
It's a motherland.
It's so scary. And like
Poland's
movies.
right there. We can go visit Lucas. And then we can go.
What's that other place where the movies are always filmed and there's always hitmen and like creepy stuff? What was the name of the movie? Where's that place? Where's the place? Budapest or like Belgium? It's like where there's graffiti on the walls and it's scary. It's just always scary.
He never got touched in this movie. He did in Under Siege. He gets gouged by this hook when they're throwing it off the side of the submarine.
Does he get injured?
Oh, yeah. But then by the end of the movie, he's walking around fine, like nothing ever happened. Like there's one scene where he's like, ugh, and then the rest of the movie, he's like doing his ninja stuff and everything.
I hate that because let me tell you something.
It doesn't matter. It's a 90s action movie.
Okay, well, there's a movie called like First Night. It's a Heath Ledger movie. It's not very good. But in the movie, there's this whole dramatic scene towards the end where he gets injured. And he's like, oh, I can't lift my arm. I have to hold the joust with my one arm. It's like this whole thing. Yeah. And then he wins at the end. And then he hops off his horse and he's running to his girl. And he picks her up. And I'm like, dude,
endorphin rush.
Your arm literally couldn't. Okay, so we're just going to. Okay. Like, if you're going to be injured in a movie, can you at least, like, maintain? What I really liked, actually, was in Die Hard that he didn't have any shoes.
Yeah,
I think that's funny because that sounds miserable. The whole movie of Die Hard, you're kind of like, I think I could do it, but I'd have to have shoes on. Like, there's no way I could do it barefoot. I'd be uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't know how they did that. Okay. Do you have any questions? Like, real questions?
One, is there any correlation between diabetes and sugar? Yes. Does salt intake matter?
Oh, that's such a good question because his mom is all about the no salt. Doesn't matter, Robert. That's a great question.
Yes, it does matter. Salt intake does matter if you are somebody that has kidney issues. If you're a diabetic, it could matter. If you are physically inactive, yes, it matters. If you're somebody that is young, healthy, very physically active, doing a lot of outdoor activities.
And diabetes?
No,
what if you're type 1?
That's why I said young, healthy individual. Healthy means you don't have diabetes.
Can I just time out? Obviously, salt intake doesn't matter to a human who's healthy. His question is referring to diabetes.
No, that's not. No.
I think they're related. I'm right.
No, because there's in the mainstream, there's a lot of this that, like your bonehead teachers at work. I want to lose weight. I'm going to cut out dairy. I want to lose weight. I'm going to cut out salt.
I don't know what they're saying.
Exactly.
I'm like, you mean you want to cut your calories?
Right, because there's so much bad information in the mainstream media that we're told that salt is bad. You shouldn't salt your food. You shouldn't do any of this. That's horribly, horribly bad information.
Ahmad, be honest. You were talking about in regard to diabetes.
Please stop interrupting. So, in an otherwise healthy individual that is physically active, no, you don't need to worry about salt intake unless you have some kind of pre-existing genetic condition. There's enough studies out there showing that back in 2018, 2019, there was a review that came out that showed that actually higher salt intakes were correlated with lower blood pressure, and that lower salt intakes were correlated with higher things.
Wait, my sister has always said,
I was right.
Dang it. You know what? Robert's always right, and I always
am.
question him. And you know what? It's fine because I'm super used to being wrong. So it just blows off my shoulders.
Yeah.
I was wrong again.
So
Robert was right again.
Going back to the initial question of mine,
my sister has really low blood pressure. She's the lowest.
Between diabetes and sugar. So my dad's a type 2 diabetic. I'm assuming we're talking about type 2 diabetes here, not necessarily type 1, which is where your pancreas just isn't working with it. It's an autoimmune condition.
Okay.
Yes, sugar in and of itself is not bad. I mean, our body's primary source of energy is glucose. So we're built to run on sugar. So sugar in and of itself is not bad. Where sugar goes bad is when you're consuming excessive quantities of it, coupled with excess body weight and a lack of physical activity. So you're consuming all of this energy,
you're
not using it, and then your pancreas kind of eventually throws up its hands and says, I'm tapped out. Your cells become resistant to insulin signaling. You start to get hyperglycemic, so you get high blood sugar levels, and it starts to create all kinds of metabolic maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
That's good. Man.
Who uses maelstrom in their everyday jargon?
I'm a writer. That's what I do.
It causes a maelstrom. A tempest.
I use these words regularly. This is what happens when you operate at a higher vocabulary.
Shakespeare? Get your thoughts in order. I'm the one reading Tolstoy before bed.
I know, but if you would ever actually read the articles I write, you would see the polysyllabic words I'm throwing around.
I'm just proud of myself that I can read Tolstoy. I'm not going to lie. It's really easy.
But yeah, there's a correlation between diabetes and sugar, just because a lot of it is that significant portions of the world are overweight, significant portions of the world have diabetes, and significant portions of the world consume excessive amounts of sugar, fat, and salt because we rely a lot on hyper-processed food. So that's why there's absolutely correlations between all that. You look at any of the research, there's going to be some pretty strong correlations between that. Sugar in and of itself, like if you are a normal, healthy individual and you don't eat a lot of excess added sugar, a lot of processed foods in your diet, and you just have like a tablespoon of sugar in your coffee in the morning, is that going to like ruin your metabolism and give
Courtney does that.
You're going to be fine. That's nothing to worry about. So as long as you're training hard, eating right, maintaining a good level, good body composition, you don't really have anything to worry about with sugar.
I feel like you don't have anything to worry about anything. What you just said. What was the thing you said? As long as you're training and living a relatively healthy lifestyle, you can kind of get away with drinking. You get away with eating pizza. You can get away with anything if you just do what you got to do. It's like those people that are like, you know what? I just figured out that if I do my homework, I do better on the test. Like, really, genius? You just figured that crap out? Why do you think we assign it? It's like, if you just take care of yourself, everything will be okay. Really, it's kind of true.
Yeah, salt intake matters. Like if you find yourself cramping up a lot or not performing very well or getting fatigued real easily, you might want to increase your salt intake. You find like you can't get that fifth gear, even though you're properly caffeinated, properly hydrated, and all that. But yeah, or if you're outside digging fence posts all day like I was, you definitely want to get more salt.
He put cement in everything. Yeah. We need new fence from the winter apocalypse. Yeah, Robert, you the Shakespeare of supplements. Funny story.
I'm better than Shakespeare. He was a hack.
Funny story. You're all wrong about Shakespeare. I watched a documentary on Shakespeare, and who we thought Shakespeare was not Shakespeare. Turns out it's a pen name. It's a pen name.
Wait.
There was no William Shakespeare. Nope, it's important.
I watched the documentary.
You didn't. It was by myself.
Where I got to see Gwyneth Paltrow with her shirt off called Shakespeare in Love. This was a factual.
It's facts. I saw her buppies. That's the only line I remember from the whole movie. Some little kid's like, I saw her puppies.
Mr. Rosso gave us 20 extra bonus points for going to see that.
Where they pulls the thing she was, you know what I'm talking about? It's all sexy, and she's like kind of flat anyways. I'm flat too. It's okay, Gwyneth. But anyways, okay. Apparently, the real William Shakespeare is named, I don't remember, but he was like some lord, and he visited Venice. Basically, the William Shakespeare that everybody thinks, the one from, what's the name of the city that they're all, Stratford and Avon, or Avon, and I don't know. I only pay attention to those certain details. But the guy that everybody thought, that we thought Shakespeare was, is not actually Shakespeare. They just have the same name. It's like, oh, this guy in the phone book, his name's William Shakespeare. He must be the guy that wrote all the plays. No, that, it was actually a lord, because that guy never left Stratford or whatever.
Are we
So
sure the
all of this,
veracity of this
no.
documentary?
This is veracity true. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I don't read as much as Robert does. But what I'm saying is the guy they think, William Shakespeare, apparently made something like a majority of his plays set in Italy, not England, which is kind of interesting because someone had to have traveled there. He even referenced small architectural things that you would see if you were actually living in Venice. And there was this lord who lived in Venice at that time, knew all the people, and he referenced a book, and that book was only owned literally by like 3 people at the time. You need to watch this documentary. It's on like Netflix or Amazon or something. Fascinating.
Do you remember the name of it?
No. Something about Shakespeare not
In
being
Love.
the real Shakespeare. And
Oh.
it's not Shakespeare in Love. I should learn the real name of the documentary. But it's fascinating. Y'all need to watch it. Truth. I love Truth. It was a lord. It was a
You
lord.
gotta be careful with documentaries that are on Amazon and Netflix, though, because like you
I
got
watched the
stuff like-
boring ones.
I'm saying, but you got stuff like Game Changers that came out that had a whole bunch of lies about vegan diets and
Yeah, I watched the
fallacies
the
about eating
boring
meat and
ones
stuff.
about William Shakespeare. There's no lie about that. I watched the boring ones that I find fascinating. The ones on Mark Twain, yeah, I watched those. I watched the good ones. Teddy Roosevelt. I love Teddy Roosevelt. I feel like I'm like a version of Teddy Roosevelt, but then when I say that, I feel arrogant because Teddy Roosevelt did a lot more stuff in this world than I did. He went to Harvard. I went to LSU. It's fine though. I feel like I have an essence of Teddy Roosevelt inside of me. Or maybe not.
must be deep, 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 deep down.
Well, that makes you my wife.
What is that?
She was a quiet soul and put up with all his crap. I feel like that makes you the wife.
Yes.
The great. Being great comes at a cost that the great very rarely pay. You're paying the cost for my greatness.
The really great ones don't have to talk about the toil it takes on them, though.
Right, which is why I'm actually not great. And this is the Supplement Engineer channel. He's the great one. I'm just here.
You are the game changer. In the
I'm
relationship
okay with
now.
that. I'm okay with that. You know what I think we are? We're chess. You're the king. I'm the queen. I'm the one that moves all around, but you have all the power. And so, like, if I die, the game's not over. You're the game changer. I'm like all up in there. I'm all up in there, and you're like chess piece. I'm gonna move one piece. I'm gonna move one piece. But you're the important one. I'm your supporting cast.
The wind beneath my wings.
I'm the winds beneath your wings. I'm
Really awkward. 7th grade, elementary school. It was Principal's Day or something like that.
yeah.
And they made us sing "You're the Wind Beneath My Wings" to our principal.
No,
The
you
whole, like,
didn't.
St. Anne, they made us do that for Miss Kropog.
Wait, that's actually a really hard song. Bette Midler, that's like singing a Whitney Houston song. That's really hard to sing. Can you tell me how do you have a video of this?
No.
Come on.
All the kids were
Come
sitting in
on.
like all of their rooms. So I think this was when I was in 6th or 7th grade.
You sang The Wind Beneath Your Wings to your principal.
I didn't sing it.
He
no.
did.
I was reading off of
He was there. He was singing.
learning about more than supplement.
Sorry.
This started as a supplement Q&A, and then it went off the rails like episode 5. Yeah. I mean, we can do some more shameless promotions. We can do some shameless promotions, or we can read supplement facts panels or something like that.
You know so much.
This is a bad man. This is a bad man. He's in.
Shut your mouth.
I hope
Robert loves
watches
the
this.
song Shaft.
So good.
Robert loves the song
Especially
Shaft.
the Maynard Ferguson version, which is what we played in Tiger Band. So good. So good.
Yeah, but you didn't sound like Maynard Ferguson.
Of course I did.
Okay.
Of course
I just
did.
want, you should play it. Go ahead and play it.
Especially after
I
having
want
some
you to
Miller
hear the
High Life
trumpet.
in me.
I want you to hear the trumpet. I think,
Wait, who was the lead screamer for the last 2 years at LSU when we were there?
I just want you to know I was playing exactly what you were playing, just 2
An
octaves
octave
lower.
lower.
You don't know what that means, but that's a really funny joke for trumpet players. I was the 3rd trumpet. Yeah, no taste test. Robert gave me no food to eat.
I mean, you just said that you haven't been working out, so do we really want to give you the food to eat?
You're kind of a dick. It's usually healthy, Robert.
It is.
It's not like it's French fries.
Brooke, we can do a taste test of bourbon for you.
I'm feeling the alcohol in it, but we'll get
We can give you a taste test of. We can do a taste test of.
Wait, question.
Bourbons.
Where's Brooke from? Where's she live?
Kentucky.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
Oh. Okay, When I was in high school, everybody said I was gullible because they would tell me things and I would believe them. And then they would say, "You're so gullible." I was like, "Why would I think you were lying? You said you were an orphan, so I believed you." And they were like, "You're so gullible." I was like, "Because you said," like, I don't understand. Was I supposed to like be like, "BS"?
You might even believe things about peanut butter.
Are we really going to talk
No,
about
we're
that?
not. No, we're not.
Because that's disgusting.
That's for another day. That's when we don't. Wait, let's. That's for when we don't have to go pick up the halfling, and we have.
I need y'all to
More
know
of
there is a
these.
story about Robert and peanut butter that I believed for a really long time. And let's talk about why I believed it for a really long time.
No, stop.
Because someone asked, and he stone cold face said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Guess who does?" And
Stop right
later,
there. Wait, you
he
gotta
was
stop
like,
right there.
"No."
You
I was
gotta
like,
stop
"You
right
said
there.
yes."
You gotta stop right there. You gotta stop right there. You're gonna get
I
too
was
much of it away.
disgusted.
What's going on, Rod?
I'm just throwing it out there.
The land of the free, the leader of freedom in these
Oh,
United States.
I love that. You are the land of the free. I thought I was in the land of the free, and then I was misinformed.
Yeah.
I greatly was a lot. I don't know.
I think
I'm
if we
smart.
weren't in like
I
the
don't know what it
blue-haired
was.
hippie area of Texas, we'd be fine.
That's not true.
But it's still like
There's lots of places that are like this.
you've
You never drink alcohol. Can you tell me why? I'd like to know the motivation. I never drank it in high school, but then I went to LSU, and I didn't drink my freshman year.
No.
I held out.
Sophomore year is when we.
And then I went to parties. We both were single. I think if we had stayed together, actually, we were super prude and uptight, not like you are. But I'm letting you know, at LSU, we never drank. We never did anything.
No.
And then we broke up, and you went off with your guys, and I went off with like my girls, and it was like party. Funny
That
story.
was your moral compass.
No, this is funny. The first time I got drunk ever was on Bourbon Street
Oh, no.
with Kappa Kappa Psi. It's the band fraternity. If you see Stomp the Yard, you'll know what I'm talking about. No, Drumline. That's my fraternity. KKC. Anyways, so it was a co-ed fraternity. Anyways, so I go down to New Orleans with all these guys and girls, and we go down, and I drink a hand grenade, which is a tall drink of
It's just
Everclear.
Everclear with sugar.
And it tastes good.
So good.
It's so good. You don't even taste the alcohol, and Everclear is like strong. So I don't know what they put in there.
190 proof.
I don't know what they put. No, it's not.
I think so. Let me look. It
It's
up.
not.
Yeah,
It's
it's just grain alcohol.
It's what? No, I disagree with everything you're saying. There's no way I believe you. Oh my God. It's 190. No wonder I got drunk.
There we go.
So I'd never drank before. And oh my God, what was I thinking? So I go to Bourbon Street and I drink a hand grenade and I get drunk. But I didn't know I was drunk because I'd never gotten drunk before. So I didn't know what was going on. So Jeremy Duplichin actually. And I kept being like, "Is this what it's like to be drunk? Am I drunk?" It was annoying. I wore khaki pants to Bourbon Street. That's not you don't wear khaki pants to Bourbon Street. You wear rain boots, but I didn't know that. So then I'm dancing on stage at a gay bar and I hit the floor. Like I do one of those, like you spread your legs and you be like, "Hit the floor, hit the floor." I was so like saucy. And I split my pants straight down from like the top, like where it attaches to like where the belt would be, all the way down, like through the crack. And it's like wide open booty. And I was wearing a thong. So it was like, booty. Do you even know this story?
Yes, I do.
Because he wasn't, I was single.
No, you've told me this story though.
And so it's all booty crack. And I was like, "Oh my God." 'Cause I was
You
drunk.
say if you were in a gay bar, so you're.
I was in a very bar, thank God. I was like, "Oh my God, my butt." So I had a leather jacket on. Sorry, I just need you to know how nerdy I am. I'm wearing a leather jacket and khakis. And it was like December. So I take the leather jacket off and I tie it around my waist, which doesn't serve a purpose because I'm drunk. I keep lifting it to show people because it's so funny. I'm like, "Look at my butt. Look at my butt." And my friend Jeremy was like, "You have to stop because we put the jacket around your waist so that you wouldn't show people your butt crack, so that we would hide it. And you keep showing people and you need to stop doing that." Those were good people. I had good people in my life because that was the first time I ever got drunk.
You did.
You know, it's really funny. During that whole story, we lost people. Nobody wants to hear about how I got drunk on Bourbon Street.
Interesting. You went to Florida.
You went to Florida?
And you're actually watching two LSU people talk? Man.
SEC.
There you go.
SEC. I root for you.
There we
I
go.
root for you.
Never felt inclined to drink. Expensive? It can be, unless you find like the right things.
I'm sorry.
There's budget
It is
bourbons.
expensive. It is expensive.
At restaurants, it definitely is, which is why we just do it here.
So anyways,
For good
I love
calories,
that.
well, if you stick to straight bourbon, it's much lower. It's only 70 calories an ounce.
I appreciate your motives.
Yeah. But
I
you know
like
what?
to give anybody any opportunity.
Florida has the best town name of anywhere ever. If I could live anywhere, it would be in Florida. Because you know why? Gainesville. All kinds of gains going down in Gainesville.
Good job, babe.
Yeah. Did we talk about the program last week? How you watched that?
I think so.
Okay.
That was the exact same.
Yeah, still is what's going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find your pants splitting story funny.
I actually think it's a really funny story.
We're definitely saving the peanut butter story for when we have more viewers. That might be. We might need you to come on the final scoop and actually tell that story on Saturday.
I just, what was I supposed to think when you actually say that you did it? Like, what am I supposed to think when you're like, yup?
And have we told
Whoops.
the Mexican restaurant story about you? Have we told that one?
I don't know. When I told a funny story, the viewership went down. Maybe nobody wants to hear my super funny
Maybe it's
stories.
happy hour for them.
That's my funniest story. And I don't know if they've ever heard it, but it's my funniest story that I've ever told in my entire life. And it's like usually told at like cocktail hour when everybody's chill and then everybody dies and almost pees on themselves laughing.
Yeah. I think that'll have to be like the next special edition episode of the final scoop when we do another eating challenge.
I'll
can
tell you
just
that story.
Have the floor with that.
I'll tell the
We
story.
can tell that story too. Because
You know what's funny?
We'll
is
tell
there's
an
a
embarrassing story
lot of
about
funny
each of us.
stories. There's a lot of funny stories that have my name on it. A lot of funny stories. Yeah, they are. I know. I've been there.
Oh yeah.
We've been to your Florida
Been to
stadium.
Swamp.
We've been to your
Twice,
swamp.
three
Let me tell
times?
you what I don't like about the swamp. I don't like, okay, so every stadium we've ever been to has a fourth down something. Football players put up the number 4, and then the fans and the band do something. And your stadium sings their alma mater. They just really pump you up. Remember that? And what I remember about the Florida alma mater is it says something about the girls being the fairest and the guys being the something. I don't know. What's your alma mater? But I remember thinking, because everyone was like, and I was like, dude, it's fourth quarter. You're trying to kick our ass. Like, what are you doing? Why are you singing some slow song? Like, when we do fourth quarter, we play pregame.
Yeah.
I feel like most fourth quarters are something like, rah. And then Florida's like, harmony and beauty. And I was like, But you've won a lot of
Just
national championships.
You wonder why people dropped off when you're telling stories. You're insulting the people that actually are tuning in.
I am. This is a true statement. I'm sorry.
You need to go to the corner of shame and think about what you've done.
Florida has a lot of national championships, so obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. Obviously, the super sappy alma mater
They were
gives
actually.
them fire.
I actually really liked watching Florida when I was growing up as a kid because that's when they had Danny Werfel and they were airing that with Spurrier under the offense. Like they were throwing it all over when everybody was still running like tailback and.
But
like,
not
power
Emmett
out
Smith. That
formation.
was way before your time.
That was 80s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like mid 90s, early 90s, mid 90s.
I-
Werfel was 96.
I love Florida.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I love every SEC school.
Except Vandy.
I don't mind Vandy. They
That's
bring
not
up the
count.
GPA average. You're welcome.
We also need to make a qualifier. Missouri and A&M don't count as SEC schools.
Those are lies.
Yeah.
They don't have that SEC bar.
No. No, I do like Florida. I like the uniforms. They're amazing. The
Mhm.
blue and orange, amazing uniforms.
Good stuff, good
Amazing,
stuff. We
amazing
approve.
uniforms. Yeah. What
We
years
approve.
did you go to Florida, bro?
SEC. You like that?
Yeah. What are you feeling for dinner tonight?
Probably nachos. I was saying that to someone at work, and she was like, "That's not very healthy." I was like, "Hey, Robert feeds me lunch and breakfast, and it's healthy, and then I get to do my thing for dinner."
Yeah, but the nachos.
So I do
what-
nachos.
We count. It's only what, like 650 or 700.
It's only 650 calories, but it's only like 20 protein. But I
That's
only need
fine.
like 20 protein because I eat so much.
Yeah,
protein
you get a
for
ton of
lunch.
fiber from the beans. We make the refried beans here, and actually fat-free refried beans because I boil up a bunch of the beans in the crock pot, so it's pinto beans in that.
We don't add fat to it. Thank you.
It's that you put 2 ounces of cheese on it, around there, and
And
some
salsa.
tortilla chips and homemade salsa.
Whatever.
Robert's Gourmet homemade salsa, which is available for purchase for $9.99.
Robert makes really good salsa. Y'all are missing out. I used to give it as a treat to my students, and they would be like, "This isn't spicy," and then they'd be crying later. I was like, "Oh, is that not spicy? Is that not spicy?" So,
You don't think she's gonna want to do?
oh, I'm doing mommy daughter dinner. Totally forgot. Why'd you ask? You made me get all excited about my nachos.
I figured you were deciding between
She picks the
Italian and
restaurant,
pho.
and we usually get pho.
Okay.
She likes pho. She likes pho, which I kind of think is cool. Because, like, if you think about the chicken noodle soup from Campbell's, it's kind of gross. And so at least she has good taste in soup.
Yeah, we didn't grow up eating chicken noodle soup from Campbell's.
And those little chicken, little, like...
It was gross.
Yeah, I don't know, you like it. It's like Vegemite. Vegemite's not good, Australians. You just like it. There's a difference. You got used to the yeasty taste. He's really
Salsa engineer.
good. You want to know why?
Chef
Tell him the original recipe. Tell him how you tweaked it. Go ahead.
Yeah, this was actually, making salsa was my entry into cooking. So I was actually one of the pickiest eaters you would ever come across. I wanted plain hamburgers, no cheese on it, nothing else. Nothing would adulterate the beauty of beef patty and bun. Maybe a little ketchup.
Oh,
That was it. And some French fries. I would eat chicken fingers, pepperoni pizza, cheese pizza during Lent. So be Catholic
we're
boy.
Catholic, so we can't eat meat.
Bacon,
Cheese pizza.
eggs every now and then, macaroni and cheese.
But you would do scrambles. You wouldn't even do fried eggs.
No, rarely did I eat even scrambled eggs at that point either.
I don't even think you ate eggs.
And it was like pancakes, waffles. It was super, super carb fiends.
Surprised you don't have type 2 diabetes from what you ate.
Yeah, well.
No vegetables.
Well, I mean, taekwondo helped with that, and
I'm
marching
sorry.
band helped with
You
that
ate
too.
French fries. Like, that's all he ate. His every day for lunch his senior year, he just ate French fries. Literally. You think I'm exaggerating? I'm not. He would have 2 servings of French fries, and that was your
Because
lunch.
getting double fries at the Rommel cafeteria was only 50 cents extra. Of course, I'm going to get the double fries.
I went to confession, and I kid you, I'm Catholic. I went to confession. I was like, priest, I need some help. I'm about to kill my boyfriend. He doesn't eat anything. What do I do? How do I love him? Like, I'm going to break up with him. I can't handle it. He doesn't eat anything. He never eats. Literally. God provided. Now he eats.
And then I stumbled across the Food Network my sophomore, junior,
when
college.
it was still cooking.
When it was Rachel Ray, Giada, Bobby Flay, Emerald actually hosting cooking shows and not all the bullshit.
Robert was like, I can do that.
I can do that. So I started making salsa and I progressed from there.
It's pretty awesome,
And
actually.
then I exploded into cooking anything and
I'll
everything.
tell you right now, I wouldn't have married him if he was still a picky eater. I was disgusted by picky eaters. At least as a husband. As a friend, I don't care.
So much so that she had to go to confession.
I felt guilty how much I hated you for it. It was like bad.
And then the priest gave you 3 Hail Marys,
I
and
was
our Father that said, "Stop being
"Ah."
so judgmental."
Yeah.
The uniforms are quite vivid. Yes. I like the gator chop. That's good. That and the tomahawk chop from the people at Florida State. That's just good hand motion.
Her
That's
third
always-
reason is a great reason. Because your inhibitions just go, woo! One time we told you guys, one time I ate an entire loaf of bread. An entire loaf of like Wonder Bread.
We have built that.
And here's the funny story. This is the worst part. Is that my poor friend Gabe was like, dude, that was like my groceries. Like that was my bread for the week. He's this poor college student. And he was like, that was like an entire loaf of bread. Like that was gonna last me like a whole week. And
I think the best thing was we went back to his apartment 2 weeks later and we found a couple of pieces of bread behind the sofa.
okay, so like I don't get that drunk anymore, obviously. Because I'm an
No.
adult and then I have class and we just don't do that. But oh my God, whatever.
Yeah, somebody asked me and Steve the last time on
What?
last week's Massive Iron Q&A. When was the last time you were hungover? And I'm trying to think. When was the last time I got so drunk that I felt miserable the next day?
It's college, right?
No,
No, it was my
probably-
work party with the gin and tonic.
No, it was a little bit later than that. Remember, we
Oh.
watched an LSU game with Kaz.
With
and we had
Kaz.
the Goldschlager. We filled up the
Goldschlager.
whole bottle of Goldschlager.
Yeah, they were puking Goldschlager.
That was a bad thing. Well, we took
Your
a shot.
sister came over for that.
We took
She
a
and I hung out,
shot.
but y'all were both puking in different bathrooms.
We took a shot every time LSU scored, and this is one of the games when we were playing the Little Sisters of the
Yeah,
Poor, and it was
that
like
was a bad idea.
56-3.
That was a bad idea.
We killed off the whole bottle of Goldschlager.
Yeah, I taught my family how to take shots every time you score. Shots! And then like, you score a lot of points, you're like, shit. Because LSU never used to,
Hey,
hey,
Mark, we haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing
LSU
well.
didn't used to score a lot of points. So taking a shot every time we scored was like a super normal thing. You take maybe 3 shots, 4 shots, and
Yeah.
then your defense
28
wins
to 35,
the game.
and you win.
It's not a big deal. And then we got an offense. And then it was like, what have we done to ourselves? Ah.
But even against like when you play North Texas or La Tech or ULL or any
You'll
other things,
score.
you'd still score like 49 points even with a crappy
You'd
offense.
score.
Because
lot
the
of
defense would
shots.
usually get 1 or 2 touchdowns. Special teams would have like a punt or a kick.
But
or
then
something.
we changed the shots. Okay, so like we would do tequila. My family still does tequila.
No,
but
I
then
never
we
did
did the
tequila.
root beer and whipped cream vodka.
That's really good.
It's so good.
It's like root beer flavor.
And we also made really good Jello shots. We made his grandma's drink them or take them.
On one occasion, yes.
What do you do with Jello shots?
One of my grandmas actually used a spoon.
She's a spoon. She was so classy.
She's a
She was
proper
like,
lady.
oh, a Jello shot. I was like, okay. Okay, Grandma.
What is their beverage of choice, Brooke?
That is a good question. Probably vodka. All right. Girls tend to drink vodka.
I mean, if they're
It's
Florida
super low
girls,
cal.
if they're Florida girls, they might
What? They might be what?
drink
What?
something different. I don't know, rum.
Because it's near the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
When I hear Caribbean, I immediately imagine like those drums. What are the steel drums? Like
Fungus? Oh, the steel drums. Right? The ones from under the sea.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
By the way, I just want to state for the record, it is always worth it to go to an all-inclusive resort. Throwing that out there. It's like everything's free when you're there. What would you like? Anything. It's free. What would you like at the restaurant? Anything. It's free.
You've already paid for it.
It's all
not
free. See, he kept being like, Sandy, this isn't free. We've gone twice. And I was like, it's free. And he's like, we paid for this. I'm like, shh, it's free. It's like, I want to just eat everything. That's another story, actually. So one time you drink a lot and you don't realize you should drink a lot of liquid, like water. And I got so sick and we go to lunch because you start drinking at 10 a.m.
No, we would drink it earlier than that because they had the trash cans full of beer
Earlier
and
than that.
mimosas at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. So we got
At the
there
breakfast
early
bar.
because whatever. Oh my God, it's so great. So anyways, you eat your little buffet breakfast, which is amazing. And then, so we're in Mexico. And then we like drink all the alcohol. And it's always those fruity ones. So the sugar's really not helping me either. It's like those pina colada, like you're watching a blend. You're like, I want of those.
You go to the bar and there's like a menu.
There's
with
a bar in the
86
pool.
different mixtures.
There's a
that they
guy
can
in
throw
the
a
pool
blender.
mixing up drinks. And you're like, I'll have one. Thanks. So anyways, it's our first day and everything's free. And I'm drinking this. And then it's lunchtime. And what do I see? I still don't know the name of this cheese. You know, there's like hundreds of cheeses. But it's some white cheese that looks like goat cheese or cream cheese or
It's some
something.
kind of queso fresco.
Some
something
kind
like
of
that.
creamy white cheese that I obsess about. And it's like a mound because it's a buffet. And I was like, gee. I mean, literally it's like a cartoon. You could like zero in. And I scooped just basically the entire thing onto my plate. And I just ate all the cheese. I was like, this cheese is so good. It's so good. It's like goat cheese. And I just loved it. And that's all I ate for lunch. Didn't have any meat. Didn't have any bread. I just had like a shit ton of this goat cheese, whatever it is. I still don't know what the name of it is. It was amazing. And then like an hour later, I was like, I don't feel good. Because I just ate a pound of cheese and I had a lot of alcohol in my system. And it's just, this is not a good. Oh, and they went to, what did you go to? Indonesian.
restaurant that night.
Because there were 7 different restaurants. There was Italian, French, Indonesian, hibachi, all these really cool restaurants. And I really wanted to try Indonesian food for free. And I was like, I don't feel well at all. And wait, what happened to Roy?
He got lost because he was drunk.
Roy got lost something.
He was really drunk and then he just kind of went veer off.
He kept getting shivas. That's what he said. It was
Scotch.
shivas, scotch, but he
Yeah.
was like, shivas. So he goes off and wanders on this all-inclusive. I don't know where he goes. And then his wife, my sister, pissed because he locked her out of, he had the key. She couldn't find him. I'm feeling like dog poo.
So I go on an
So
excursion.
Robert and Stacy just wander this resort looking for Roy. Funny story. Roy comes knocking on my door hours later. And I was like, oh, and I looked like poo. And I was like, oh, Roy. He'd be like, hey, what's up? As if like, because you don't understand my sister. She was mad. And she's like Medusa when she's mad. You don't want to be around Stacy when she's mad. She's a fighter. She's a puncher, like in the face. Like you don't want to be around my
Is
sister.
she the one whose head you bit when you were a kid?
Yeah,
Okay.
I picked the wrong one to bite. That's another story. That was an accident. Well, it was whatever. So anyways, I was like, Roy, and I feel like dog poop. My face is so pale, even though the rest of me is sunburned. You know what I'm saying? Because I was outside all day. And I was like, oh. And he's like, where's Stacy? And I was like, she's mad at you. Like one of those, you don't want to go. I was like, where were you? And he goes, I was in the hotel room. I was sleeping, taking a nap. She banged on that door because that was the first place she looked for him. He was napping and he didn't answer. So she literally didn't get to like shower or anything. They were supposed to have dinner reservations at this Indonesian restaurant. She's walking around with Robert pissed. And so then right after this, I was like, she's gonna be mad at you, Roy. Go back to your hotel room and just wait for her. And that's what I said. To which he shuts the door. He's like, you don't look so good. I was like, I don't feel so good. And so I was like, but go back. She's going to get mad at you. Just be prepared for that. And so we shut the door. To which he's like, I'll go look for him. And as he walks 2 steps, he sees this bar. And he's like, I'll have some drinks. So then right after he sits down to get a drink, that's when my sister walks by. And she's like, right? You can tell the story better because I was in the hotel room. She was pissed. Because there he is just maxing and relaxing after a nap. She was pissed because she couldn't sleep, couldn't do anything, and she was just wandering acres trying to find him. So anyways, they go out to eat Indonesian, and I'm like,
It wasn't good.
all night. And they were like, you didn't miss much. I was like, okay, because I don't feel well. So the next day, I had a pina colada and a bottle of water. It was like,
1-1.
I'm not going to do that again. And I enjoyed the French and the Italian, and it was, and they had a seafood where you get lobster, thorn. Oh my God, it was amazing. It's heaven. The cheese started with a J. That's all I know. Maybe goat starts with the word J. Maybe it was just goat cheese I was jamming on.
And you're so
But it was a mound. And they let me. None of them were like, hey, maybe you should eat something substantial because you had a lot of alcohol and you're just eating cheese right now. That's literally. Yeah.
I didn't want to cheese shame you.
Yeah, I don't think I would have listened. It was really
No,
good cheese.
you
I still remember that cheese. I was like, damn. I don't know what it was. It was the best cheese.
Good stuff.
All inclusives are pretty much the best.
They were Valentine Imperial Maya, even if it's still around.
Valentine
That's
Imperial
where
Maya!
we stay. That sounds good, Park. Steve and I are making some tweaks to the Insider. We're going to be revamping a few things and coming out with some other stuff. So yeah.
I'm going to focus on lifting the second my exams are. Oh, by the way, we need to talk. We're not going to be here next week. Want to know why? I have 4 finals next week. Thank God 2 of them are like, there's a window. I was like, great. Because otherwise it'd be 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Monday. Instead it's 1 Monday, 1 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, 1 Thursday, and 2 projects due 1 Thursday, Friday. I got my students to help me today with my project. It's what you do. You delegate is what you do. They're learning about statistics while I make them do my work.
There you go.
All right, we're done. So we're not going to be here next week because I'm going to be too freaking busy.
We will not be here next week.
I'm going to be acing.
No, good
Thanks,
cheese is
guys.
amazing.
It was really good. Really good.
Was
Not
it better
after
the
all
second
that
time, or was it better the first time?
Dude, the second time I went there, I was like, where's that cheese? Where's that cheese?
No,
Where's
no,
that
was
cheese?
it better when you threw it up? Did it taste better the
I
second
don't
time?
even think I threw it up. I have a really hard time throwing up. My body is stubborn. It's like, no, we're going to save it. We don't want to throw it up. I'm like, come on. I'll feel so much better if I just throw it up. It's like, no. We're
Which
gonna
is
keep
why I
it.
usually go sleep in the other bedroom when you're feeling queasy.
When I feel queasy, it lasts hours. And Robert's like, I'm out of here. And I was like, and then wait, what do I do? I go, because I'm trying to like.
The only bad thing is that this room, this is the room where I would go. The bathroom, you can hear it through that wall right
Can you hear
there.
me throw up?
I can hear everything. You can hear the toilet flush. You can hear the water running.
The funny thing, we've talked about it. I have a really loud vomit because I can't control it and it just comes out.
When you walk, I can hear you walk.
You know what they did at my school? Dumbest thing. They put the AP testing next to my classroom, wall to wall. I was like, what the hell? You think I'm going to be quiet? I'm going to be like, because I'm trying to keep them awake during math class. It's boring. I'm trying to teach the unit circle and make it interesting. So I got to yell a lot and do cartwheels and stuff. And then they actually banged on the wall today because I was making them yell back to me. I was like, why is it called a unit circle? And they were like, the radius is 1. And then I hear, like, shut the heck up. We're taking an AP test in here. Today was history. I heard it was a bruiser. And I was like, oh.
American history?
I'm sorry, guys. Oh, and every time someone gets an A, I'm like, I say their name and everybody claps 2 times. And if they don't clap loud enough, I say it again. And they clap 2 times. The AP test is like, shut up. I'm like, you guys shouldn't have put the AP test in right next to me. That was on you. That was bad form. I'm the loudest teacher.
That you are.
It's a thing.
We think you're great, Park. Thank you for always
We think
supporting the
you're
channel. Amen. This is unrelated, but I Dumble press 45. That's awesome. Any progress is good
That's
progress. That is
awesome. You're talking about one in each hand. That's dumbbell, right?
Yeah, that's the dumbbell press. There you go. You're doing them on a bench. You're doing them on the floor. You're doing an incline.
Oh.
But yeah, that's awesome, man. Keep working.
Yeah, I really like dumbbell pressing because I feel my chest.
That's really awkward. You're doing that motion.
You know what? That's sexist. I was talking about my chest muscles and you're talking about my boobies. That's on you. Thank you. Thank you. I teach very loud. I'm trying to be like, get this in your head.
All right, you need to get running.
Oh, I have a funny tell you. Asked me to write his letter of recommendation.
Nope.
And I didn't know what to say because I was like,
you might want to ask somebody else.
You might want to ask somebody else. Like, he's like, are you going to tell him that I slept in your class? I was like, because you did sleep in my class. I feel like I'm not the best person to write your letter of recommendation because I'm pretty honest because I'm incapable of lying. And I was like, but he asked me in front of a class of his peers. And I was like, this is so awkward. I want to say, what are you, crazy? No, I'm not going to write your letter of recommendation. Do you want me to write a bad one? Because that's what, but like I was like,
I wish it says talk to me after class. This isn't.
Yeah,
class
yeah, I was caught off guard. I was like, are you sure?
You have failed.
Sure? I said sure. I don't remember. You don't know the story. We didn't talk about it. Put it this way. I shouldn't write this kid's letter of recommendation because I'm going to be honest. He's very intelligent and rude and never does any work. Please take him to your university if no work is required and only intelligence. Oh, I would love to teach you, Brooke. I love teaching people who hate math. That's my favorite person to teach. Mostly because they don't hate math, and I get really excited for them when they learn things. But if I teach someone who already loves math and who already knows everything, then when I get really excited when they learn things, they look at me like I'm a moron. I'm like, great job. I'm so proud of you. And they're like, I'm smart, so you'd back off. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to be nice and supportive. Back off. It's awkward. Like, I don't think Robert would have liked having me as a math teacher. He would have looked at me and been like, I'm smart, so you just go away from me because I know everything.
Probably said I'm smarter than you.
And I'm smarter than you. And I would have said, you probably are. Would you like to teach the class?
I was very respectful to all my teachers. Even the ones I didn't like in school, I was very respectful
I
to all my
wonder
teachers.
if you would have liked me as your teacher.
I would have tolerated you. I'm sure I would have.
I don't know, guys. And therein lies the
I never had
question.
any teacher as enthusiastic as you. They didn't make teachers like you back then. Back in the day when we were walking 15 miles uphill both ways to school.
You want to hear something funny about the times that I broke up with Robert? Everyone's like, who broke up with who? I was like, it was mutual. It was always mutual because we both have too much dignity to be like, oh.
Eamon, no. This is her morning. She's actually had a little bit of a
alcohol, a downer.
Kentucky Mule.
I've had a downer.
This is her
This
all
is me
day,
downer.
every day. No, she has never had any pre-workout or anything.
9,036.
You were at 84 when we started. It's 600 steps. Wiggle around like
I wonder if I climb stairs.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Eamon. We get this question a lot, but you might be a first-time viewer to the channel. She is always this energetic and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
she's
anyway.
awesome.
So, wait. What was I saying?
Computer forensics. That's cool.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Digging up all the dirt on people's hard drives. That's what they want you to find.
I love that. That's a thing. I love that.
You could do a lot of cool stuff with like the CIA and FBI doing that kind of stuff.
Maybe she is in the CIA.
She
We
might
love
be.
you.
Please don't hack our computer, Brooke.
Go ahead and hack my computer. I ain't got nothing to hide, but just don't frame me for anything. That I won't be able to undo.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I know you can do that. I just don't want you to. So anyways,
I can give you a list of some targets though that I wouldn't mind you messing their stuff up with.
Yeah, like some of the parents that are doing a bad job and making their kids little turds. Their kids could be so good if they did their job as a parent and stop the bad behavior. I'm sorry. We need to write a parenting book and just be like, do your job.
The Art of Parenting, inspired by The Art of War.
I love The Art of War. Know thyself and know thy enemy, and in 100 battles you will be victorious.
And in
victory!
The job of parenting, the enemy is the child.
Yeah, it's us versus you. Us versus you. We win all the time. You're right. We win. Okay, I really got to go to the bathroom. I've been like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been doing the pee-pee dance.
Sitting down. All right, well, do you want to do the outro or do you want me to do this?
I don't know what you say when you do your outro. I don't listen. I look at my hair. I'm trying to tell you this. I want to make sure I'm having a good hair day.
You got 1 minute.
Ooh.
I have no idea what you're referring.
I'd like to know who the underdog is. And that's
I know who Floyd Mayweather is.
Nope. I know this. Didn't you say that he's lost a whole bunch of battles? I want the underdog. I want the underdog because the underdog has the fight. I've seen Rocky 3.
I'm not much into boxing. I'm more UFC, unfortunately. Bye, guys. Thank you, Chris. And reminder, we will not be here next week because somebody decided that finals are more important than you guys. So
they are.
Make her feel bad.
So there's
everybody leave a comment down below saying how much you're disappointed that Sandy's choosing school over you guys next week. Or maybe I'll just do this by myself or have Gerhard on from Fitness Informant. Him and I can just he can drink his White Claw and I can drink bourbon.
I do want to say, right now, I'm pretty sure I have like a 98 in both classes. So I could get a C on the final instead of an A in the class. But I don't want to get a C on the final because I want a good grade. I don't know what to say. I want to like earn it. I have to study.
Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you for joining us as always. We appreciate the support. If you're looking to support further, click the links down in the bottom for either Massive Iron Creatine or Apollo Nutrition product with the code FINALSCOOP. It'll save you 15%. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the video. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always for no, it's just 15%, not
or more.
No, it's not or more.
Greater than or equal to.
No.
Well, if it's greater than or equal to, then technically I'm not wrong because it's equal to. So.
Yeah, exactly. Make her feel really bad. Everybody make Sandy feel really, really bad.
Wish me luck. Where's the good luck on your finals, Sandy? I hope you do really well and study for days on end because you have 4 finals and 2 projects next week.
Yeah. Keep neglecting your husband.
Next week is review week for my students. I'm gonna be like sitting down with them and be like, shh, mama's studying. We all need to study. All right? Switch them out. Let's all study together. Okay. I have a test too, okay? I actually do that. And I think it's inspiring to them to see their teacher study. I'm like, I know what you're going through, okay? Let's do this. Note cards. No, I don't do note cards. I hate note cards. I'm an outline girl.
And in 2 weeks, we'll go over more study tips from Sandy on the Supplement Engineer podcast.
We're not done! Until I take topology.
Agreed.
Okay.
We need more Sandy.
How do you know he's not talking to you?
Because nobody tunes into this to watch me. They tuned in to listen to you. That's true. How many supplement questions did we get? How many questions for you did we get?
You've answered them already.
I know. All right, guys.
Remind us to tell you some funny stories.
Thank you, as always. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family, friends, and loved ones. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. When I'm done.